Okay, so this is what obedience looks like. This is what obedience looks like. A couple years ago, I had a mentor, and basically, he was telling myself and my sisters, we had, well, just to back up for a minute, so in 2023, I and my sisters started a business called Press. It was designed to be a creator centered cafe company that we would eventually open a brick and mortar location designed to primarily do three things. Number one, create a space for independent working creative people, especially those in the remote workspace, to come and congregate and work and feel supported. Two, serve amazing drinks that don't necessarily have the crash that comes with just having coffee. So to offer unique herbal options and that sort of thing. And number three, to actually publish and put out independently published creative work. So those three things. And when we started this business plan, we were a part of a program um, created by NIFTY, which is the National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And that program really helped us and supported us in getting a concrete business plan in place, even gave us access to some startup capital, and helped us get our business in front of a lot of people who were going to support us, right? So we create our business plan starting in 2023. We complete the program in 2024. We start having pop-up events at our church where we're testing out recipes and doing market research and surveys to try to figure out where we should be located at. And then life starts lifing. And the business plan slowly kind of gets pushed on the back burner while we start to prioritize other things. Um, while we're running this, I was also working a 9 to 5 job at the time when I first started writing this business plan. And in addition to that, I also run a consulting company targeted at community organizations, nonprofits, churches, that sort of thing, to provide structure and support in their daily programmatic efforts. And so, because I already had my consulting business and because I already had my 9 to 5 job, taking on this business was a lot. And with how I wanted it to grow and how I wanted it to be, I knew it was going to be a labor of love. We had just started a business. We were in the process of writing our business plan, and this person was an entrepreneur who we got connected with through a program for like startups that we were doing. And he suggested that I vlog my business startup experience. Now, I do not like being on camera, and I don't mind taking a photo, but I'd much rather be behind the camera than in front of it. So I was very resistant to the idea of having to film and also having to share this part of myself. I'm super protective about those things that I'm so passionate about, those dreams that I have, that I don't really want people's, negative opinions to kind of like hurt what I'm building, because I think I'm, you know, kind of so hesitant sometimes to even like talk about what I want to do or talk about my dreams or really share about my businesses. And that's just because I feel like I haven't been as confident in the direction that I was taking. And so, even though I know I have like faith in my ideas, it's a different situation to kind of say, hey, look at me build this thing that I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know if it's going to be a success. I don't know if it's going to fail. I don't know if I'm going to be, back working in 9 to 5 in a couple years. I don't really know what that's going to look like. I don't know how I'm going to manage it if it does explode. I'm just very unsure. And I'm not used to inviting people into my uncertainty. And so I don't want to blog. I don't want to. But um, I feel like God's been working with me a lot this year about sharing, and not just sharing on a vlog space, but also sharing my work. I'm a writer, but I never really share what I'm writing or what I'm working on unless it's in an educational capacity. So I have been a curriculum designer. I've written tons of videos that have been published, that have been seen. My writing's been like probably in front of your 12-year-old child dozens of times by now, right? Millions of times at last count, actually. But I think for my creative writing, some of it is just so vulnerable. And for even like essays and opinion focused things that I write, sometimes I just don't want people to know what I think. I want to keep it private. But recently I was speaking to one of my sisters, and we were talking about how a lot of diversity of perspective is missing, and how the conversations that we have amongst each other and amongst our friends and amongst our like inner circle is something that you don't hear in this like algorithm of like craziness that is just perpetuating a lot of times nonsense. And I think the only way to fix that is for more people to share their voice, their independent thoughts, and to really get out there. And so this year I'm being more committed to that. And so part of that is being obedient to what God told me to do and sharing my story, and being obedient to my mentor who told me years ago, you need to share your story and you need to be vlogging your experience. And so this is what obedience looks like. I'm not doing a fancy setup. I don't have on makeup. I'm not even ready, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to see what happens.